Hey everyone, it's Malozine. Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. I have decided that I would like to make some cozy Genshin content on YouTube because I love watching that sort of content. There are a few creators that have definitely inspired me to make this channel, and so I will link their channels in the description box in case you wanted to check them out as well. And for my first video, I thought it would be a good idea to do an account tour to show you all basically what I like about Genshin, the kinds of things I like to do when I play, and what kind of characters I like. I thought it would help you get to know me better as a creator. So without further ado, let's get into the account tour. So to start off the account tour, I thought I would show you all my basic team that I use for overworld exploration. I always have the core of Kazuha, Furina, and Sijuin, and then whoever's in this first slot I swap out depending on what kind of exploration I'm doing or whoever my newest character is. Right now it's Clarand because I just recently pulled for her, but if I'm in Natlan, Sitlali is usually in this spot. So I do have Kazuha because he can scale walls really easily and he can group together enemy drops. Furina, of course, can walk on water, which is really helpful, and she's probably my best built character in terms of artifacts and everything, so I want to use her as much as possible. And Sijuin is kind of like my main. I love her so much and just want to play her in the overworld no matter what. She's gonna always be on my team basically. I just love her design and everything about her, so I have to have her on my team at all times. So now we can go over my character builds. I'm only going to show my best and favorite builds and kind of skim over the others because they might not be as good, and I just don't want to spend too much time on looking at every individual artifact. So to start, I just got Clarand. I have her on Ayato's signature weapon just because I got that at one point apparently. This is her artifact build that I have her on. I have her on her classic Harmonic Whimsy set, and I'm just going to show on the screen the specific artifacts I have on her in case you wanted to look at those, but I don't want to spend too much time going through all the artifacts, so you can screenshot this if you'd like, or just read through it. And this is her stats right now. I think she's one of my better built characters as well. Managed to get her crit rate pretty high. And I have her talent at 2, 9, and 6 right now. I'm still working on getting those a bit higher. I'd probably like to crown her skill. Next is Kazuha. His build is not very good, but I'll still show it to you because I like Kazuha and use him all the time. I have him on Iron Sting, and these are the artifacts I have for him, but they're really not very good for what I use him for. I like to use him for swirl reaction, and so I need high elemental mastery, but I kind of don't have the highest elemental mastery I could have for him. And I have his talents at 7, 7, 8. Next up is Furina. Here are her stats that I have for her right now. I am really happy with her build. She's probably one of my best builds. I managed to get pretty good crit rate and energy recharge without having any main stat artifacts for those. I have her on her signature weapon, actually. I was pulling for Sijuin's signature weapon and just managed to get Furina's as well, so I'm pretty happy with that outcome. For her artifacts, I have her on Golden Troop 4-piece, of course, and as you can see on a couple of these, for example, the goblet I have on her, I managed to get really high energy recharge, so I immediately knew that had to be Furina's off-piece. And then I actually have her C1. I got really lucky and managed to get it at about 9 pity on a single pull, and it was a 50-50, so it was not guaranteed. I would love to get her C2 eventually, but it probably won't be on her upcoming rerun because I would rather save for some of the new characters that I think are going to come out fairly soon. And then I have her talents at 8, 10, and 10. Even though her normal attack is kind of useless, I do plan to triple crown her. Next up is Siegeween, who I would consider my main, and she's definitely my favorite character on my account. Even though a lot of people consider her to be kind of bad, I don't really care because I just love her personality and design, and I care more about liking a character than how good they are. I did end up pulling for her signature weapon when I originally didn't plan to, because the only other HP bow in the game is a green 3-star bow that I thought did not look very good on her. So I did pull for her signature, and I do love how it blows little heart bubbles. For her artifacts, I have her on a 2-piece set to max out her HP. I use her mainly as a healer, which is her main purpose, of course. Though I did try to give her some other good stats as well, like crit rate, crit damage, and energy recharge, mainly so I could use her ultimate from time to time and have it actually do some damage. And then her constellation, I actually have her constellation at C2. I did spend a little bit of money to get it up here, but I would say around $50, because I did have a lot of wishes saved up already, but obviously after pulling for her weapon as well, I didn't have as many left over. And she is on banner currently, but I doubt I'm going to pull for her on this one because once again I'm saving up and her C3 isn't amazing. I do have her triple crowned as well. We're going to skip over Dia because even though I use her and love her, I don't have her built very well. Moving on to Candace. She is one of my favorite characters in this whole game. She was my main before Siegeween was, and I still hold a lot of love for her in my heart. I actually have her on a DPS build, which I know is a little out of the ordinary for her, and so I ended up pulling Staff of Homa for her on Hu Tao's most recent rerun because this is Candace's best in slot weapon for a DPS build, and maybe just in general, I'm not sure, because it gives HP and crit damage. For her artifacts, I have her on 2-piece for energy recharge and HP. And since I built her with a DPS build in mind, I did focus on trying to get crit rate and crit damage as main substats on all the pieces. And despite loving her so much, I actually only have her constellation at the first level because she has just never been on any of the 5-star banners I've wanted to pull on. So I originally got her from, I believe, the weapon banner, and then her first constellation from the Subsaris festival event. And since she was my first main, she was actually the very first character I ever triple crowned, which was really exciting at the time. And then here are her overall stats. I am just going to go over Sino really briefly because he was my first 5-star character and I do think he's built pretty decently, but I just don't really use him at all. So I'm just going to quickly click through his artifacts in case you wanted to see them, but I don't want to spend too much time on him. And now for Nahida, I actually pre-farmed for her for a couple months leading up to her banner because I had a guarantee and I knew I wanted her so badly. She's probably my favorite Archon, but unfortunately I didn't manage to get her signature weapon even though I wanted it because I focused on getting Staff of Homa instead. For her artifacts, I actually have her fully on Deepwood Memories, and I focused on maxing out her elemental mastery, of course, but also getting her crit rate and crit damage decently high as well. And I did focus on getting constellations for her more than getting her signature weapon, so I do have her C1. I lost the 50-50 on her C2 though, and I do have her triple crowned. Nouvelette is another character I'm going to go over very briefly because I don't like his build very much. I have farmed artifacts for him for so long and I just cannot get good crit rate artifacts. I cannot get his crit rate up, and so he just does not do nearly as much damage as I want him to do whenever I use him. Nilu is another character I'm going to briefly gloss over because I don't have her built the best, because I am waiting to get Kokomi to make a really good Bloom team with Nahida, Nilu, and Kokomi. I know I can use Barbara technically, but I just would prefer to wait for Kokomi. I did end up buying Nilu's summer event skin last summer because it is just so beautiful to me, especially with her bright red hair. Design-wise, Nilu is one of my absolute favorites, especially because she's a dancer, but playstyle-wise, just outside of a Bloom team, I just never use her. Now I'm also going to really quickly go through the rest of my characters. Those were all of my level 90 characters. I have Jean at level 80, but I do think she's built pretty well, so I'll go through it really quick. And then I did get Sitlolly recently. I'm still working on her build and leveling her up, so there's not much to look at with her right now. Tainari I never use, even though I leveled him up. And then I have quite a few 4 stars at level 80, and I do use them for the Abyss and Imaginarium Theater. I'm actually about to ascend Xiangling to get her to level 90 because I really like her. I would like to ascend Mona as well. And then I have a lot of characters at level 70 just so I can use them for Imaginarium Theater, but they're not actually built very well. These are all of the 5-star weapons I currently have. I do have Ayato's signature weapon, even though I don't really care about Ayato because I ended up getting that a long time ago at like 20 pity before I even understood pity or even how the weapon banner worked. It was when I just started the game. And then here are some other materials I have saved up right now. And as you can see here, I only have one birthday cake so far because I've only been playing for a year and a half, so I've only had one birthday while playing Genshin Impact actually. Now I'd like to show you all my exploration progress because exploring is actually one of my favorite things to do in this game. I just recently fully explored Mondstadt, and Dragonspine was actually the first place I 100%ed on my map a long time ago. I actually love Dragonspine. It reminds me a lot of Skyrim, and I really love Skyrim. I have all of Liyue 100%ed as well, including the Chasm Underground Mines. And that includes Chenyu Vale as well, though I did do Chenyu Vale separately a lot later than I explored the rest of Liyue. Sumeru is my absolute favorite nation. I thought it was super fun to explore. I love the rainforest and the desert. So I of course have Sumeru 100%ed as well as the desert. I know a lot of people don't like the desert, but I thought it was super fun. Especially this northern part with the oasis. I thought the oasis was really beautiful. And then looking at Fontaine, you can see that I have that fully explored as well. I actually just recently completed Fontaine's exploration, including the Sea of Bygone Eras. And then I completed Inazuma's exploration quite a while ago, right after I did Liyue. I tried to do them in order, except for Mondstadt, which I did last. But I actually have not done Enkanomiya yet. I have not done the quest, and I have not completed exploring it because as you get to the later game, I know Primogem sources get a bit more scarce, so I've kind of been saving this as an extra Primogem source I can go back to when I'm really in need of more Primogems. And then lastly, looking at Natlan, you can see that I have not completed any exploration there yet, though I am pretty close in a few areas. And now I would like to show you all my Statues of the Seven. I have all of them fully maxed out except for Natlan, and while I show you these, On screen, I'd like to show you all of my reputations. I have all of my reputations maxed out except for Mondstadt and Natlin. However, I am about to max out Mondstadt. I think I need around 80 more reputation points, so I'll have that done next week. And then it's moving on to Natlin's reputation. Now I want to show you guys my teapot. This is not how it's usually decorated. This is the area I use for farming primo gems from gift sets. But I wanted to show you guys that I have my trust rank fully maxed at level 10. And I wanted to tell you guys to buy the vials of Adeptal Speed from the Realm Depot whenever you can, because if you want to farm gift sets, you'll need a lot of these to do so quickly. Just a reminder for you guys. Now that we're reaching the end of the account overview, I just wanted to throw in this last tidbit to help you guys get to know me better. I told you I love this oasis, and so I wanted to show you that I actually put my crystal fly trap here so that I have an excuse to come back here at least once a week just to hear the pretty music and see the pretty sights. Alright everyone, that concludes my account tour. I know that there's probably more to my account I could have shown you guys, but these were just the basics and I didn't want the video to be too long for my first video. And since it's my first video, I am very new to this. I don't fully know what I'm doing yet, what kind of videos I want to make, so if you guys have any suggestions for how to make my videos better or any ideas of videos you would want to see, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. And lastly, thank you all so much for watching, especially if you've made it this far into the video. I really appreciate it since I'm kind of diving into something I've never done before here, so any bit of support really helps not just my channel but me as a person. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.